Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin just once again bounced from this exact area of support as the price is still trying to move closer towards this massive area of liquidity. But while Bitcoin is doing that, the Bitcoin dominance is continuing to bounce and hold above this critical area of support, which is not good news for the altcoin market, as Ethereum is still flashing a potential warning signal that we need to pay attention to. So in just a moment, I'll be sharing my exact Ethereum shorts position and my trading strategy alongside Chainlink, which is only just now holding on to this crucial area of support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto charts today, in case you missed it, just yesterday, we had a Federal Reserve meeting, an FOMC meeting, where the Federal Reserve decided to keep interest rates at the same level, the Fed funds rate at the same level. So no interest rate cut, no interest rate hike. And so, of course, that was the expected outcome. Pretty much everyone was already pricing that into the market. So we didn't really see any massive move in the market around this time. But during the Jerome Powell press conference, as always, we did see a little bit of short-term volatility, seeing a little bit of a dump and then a little bit of a pump just in the short term, bouncing around, but still within this sideways price range. And so that's really the update on the Fed meeting. It was essentially the expected outcome. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today on the weekly time frame, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And on this weekly Bitcoin price chart, we still have a massive bearish divergence to watch out for, which is currently forming but not yet fully confirmed. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, we're still losing bullish momentum, showing some weakness at least in the shorter term, but technically still within a larger bullish trend. And on this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, obviously, once again, in the shorter term, we're still lacking bullish momentum, cooling off right now. But technically speaking, the cup and handle pattern is still currently active, but this would actually invalidate the price target if we see candle closes confirm back below around 110,000. And so obviously not a lot has changed on these larger timeframes over the last one day, technically still within the Bitcoin bull market, but still losing bullish momentum in the shorter term. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, obviously we're still running into this significant area of resistance in the low 120k area. So basically in between around 120,000 to 123,000, we have a lot of resistance around there, especially at around 120 to 121,000. And so obviously, while the price has been running into that significant resistance here, we've clearly been seeing a lot of struggle in the short term and also weakness here in the daily Bitcoin RSI, as it's now forming a bearish trend, as I've already been saying over the last 1 to 2 weeks now. And the last time we saw something like this in the daily Bitcoin RSI was near the end of May, entering into June. And what happened back then in the price of Bitcoin was ultimately a bit of a pullback and basically a cool off, but still within the larger bull market, as we can see right here. And so, like I've been saying in recent videos here on the channel and really over the last 1 to 2 weeks, it's very likely that this will continue for at least the rest of July. And obviously we're near the end of July now, and it could likely even continue for perhaps the first week of August, maybe another 1 week worth of relatively weak price action for the price of Bitcoin. But once again, it's still technically within a larger bull market. So maybe later on at some point, maybe in a couple of weeks from now, we could ultimately see another breakout. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, obviously we can clearly see the price of Bitcoin is still basically in a sideways price range, bouncing around between support and resistance for the most part. And this area of support is still sitting in between around 116,000 to 117,000. And this area of resistance is still sitting in between roughly 120,000 to 121,000. But clearly, despite the fact that we see little short-term bullish moves and short-term bearish moves in the shorter term, we're lacking momentum to either direction. So we're not really seeing any significant moves in the market, at least for now, for the price of Bitcoin, as we can clearly see. And obviously, I've been saying that every day over the last couple of weeks. And like I just said earlier, this will likely continue at least for another 1 week or so. It's a very likely scenario, basically showing a lack in momentum and staying in a bit of a sideways price range, bouncing around, seeing relatively small moves in the market. But if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we technically still have some liquidity building above the price of Bitcoin at roughly 120,000 to 121,000. And usually the price of Bitcoin gets drawn towards where there's a lot of liquidity. So it's not 100% guarantee, but usually the price gets drawn towards that liquidity once again. And so it is likely that maybe at some point in the next few days or so, we ultimately try to make our way up towards this upside area of this sideways price range here, towards this liquidity at roughly 120,000. But once again, we also have to remember that we have a lot of resistance around here, which means as the price tries to get closer towards this liquidity, expect the price to struggle around this area. As we saw just a few days ago, as we could see here, the price tried tried to move towards 120,000, and then very close to 120,000, we started to struggle and reject from around there. And so even though, yes, we technically still have that liquidity at 120 to 121,000, don't necessarily expect a massive bullish move straight towards that area straight away with high momentum, because once again, we have to understand that at least for now, we're lacking momentum in the market and still showing a bit of weakness, at least in the short term, for the price of Bitcoin. And just before talking about the Bitcoin dominance and some important altcoin charts and my exact trading strategy, first, if you want to actually take any trades in the price of any crypto, you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And personally, I'm taking a lot of my crypto trades over on Bitfinex, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading and deposit bonuses. For example, up to $40,000 in trading bonuses here. And also, if you deposit just $1,000, you get a $200 bonus into your Bitfinex account. But that's only available if you use the link below this video to actually make your Bitfinex account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, or preparing to take the next trading opportunity, you might as well get set up ready to go using that first link below this video to Bitfinex to take advantage of these major bonuses here that once again are only available using that link. And in case you're wondering, Bitfinex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitfinex as an exchange, there's also 2bit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page where there's currently a massive $3 million trading competition happening right now over on 2bit. And I currently have a Crypto World team registered in this competition. So if you use the link below this video to 2bit, it'll take you to this page where you can join my Crypto World team if you want to. And if we place well in this competition, we could potentially win some massive prizes here just simply by trading crypto. So once again, if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, check it out. The second link below this video to 2bit and the first link below this video to Bitfinex. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance on the 3-day time frame, and even though technically speaking the bearish divergence is still active because we've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal to invalidate the bearish divergence, despite that being the case, as we can clearly see in the shorter term, the price is still running into this significant area of support, which at least in the short term is preventing the Bitcoin dominance from going lower. And so as I've already been saying many times just recently here on the channel over the last 1 week, give or take, while this is happening in the Bitcoin dominance in the short term, while the price is bouncing from this support here, essentially the altcoin season at least has been put on pause. Maybe the end of the altcoin season if we end up seeing a major bullish reversal, but at least for now, the altcoin season is at least put on pause while the Bitcoin dominance is holding above this support. Because in case you're new to all of this, when the Bitcoin dominance is bullish like this, that's bad news for the altcoin market. That means that most of the altcoins out there are underperforming, are doing worse than whatever Bitcoin is doing. And if Bitcoin is showing weakness in the short term, obviously the altcoins doing worse than whatever this is means the altcoins for the most part are looking bearish if the Bitcoin dominance remains in this bounce here. And now obviously that's not exactly what a lot of you would want to hear. Obviously a lot of you would want to hear that your altcoin that you're holding right now is going to do a massive 100x gain, but sometimes that's just not the reality. That's not the truth on the price charts here. So I'm just simply telling you the facts and what is actually happening right now in the market. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, the price of ETH is still struggling and running into this very significant area of resistance, still sitting in between roughly 3.9k to 4.1k. So obviously, at least for now, there is still a possibility, there's still a risk of another possible rejection here, as we've seen many times for well over a year now. Since pretty much the beginning of 2024, we've seen many significant rejections from this exact area of resistance that we're running into right now. And so even if we see just another little short-term bullish move on a smaller time frame, still consider that we have strong resistance right here, and I'd not really expect another significant bullish move towards the upside until ideally we at least break out above 4.1k with confirmation and hold above this area. In that situation, then I'll be extremely bullish on Ethereum, expecting a run towards $5,000 plus. So that could potentially be a massive trading opportunity there from, let's just say, 4.1k to 5k. But obviously, at least for now, we have not yet confirmed any breakout here, which means for now, once again, there's still a possible risk of another rejection here. And if we're taking a look at this daily Ethereum price chart, if we do see a little bit of a pullback, I would expect a lot of support at roughly 3.5k to 3.6k. And if we break break below that area, a lot of support in between 3.2k to 3.3k, and we're also potentially forming a bearish divergence, as we can see on the daily Ethereum price chart. And this is also even more visible on the 12-hour and the 8-hour timeframes. And as I already warned about in recent videos here on the channel, it is possible that the price could see just another little short-term pump on smaller timeframes, maybe even creating just a slight higher high in the price. But if that is happening while the RSI is still forming lower highs on the daily time frame especially, then we're still forming a bearish divergence that we need to pay attention to, as it is a warning signal telling us that we're losing bullish momentum. And so obviously we saw something similar back here during roughly around the middle of this year, around May to June this year. And of course, what happened back then was we did see a couple slight little higher highs again and again in the price of ETH, pushing a little bit higher each time. But even though that was happening in the price action in the shorter term, we were building just an even larger bearish divergence, as the RSI was still forming lower highs. And so ultimately, when that finally confirmed here with that significant lower high in place after confirming this massive higher high in the price, obviously it ultimately played out in a major pullback for a couple of weeks or so in the price of ETH. And so I'm just simply pointing out the same warning signal that I pointed out back then on the price chart, when the price was also running into this significant area of resistance in between around 2.7k to 2.8k. And when I was warning about a possible pullback right here, obviously a lot of people did not like hearing that, but that ultimately played out. And right now I'm basically saying the same thing. We do have a bearish divergence forming at the same time as running into very significant resistance, which means we do have some potential risks that we need to be at least aware of. And so as I talked about over the last couple of days, first of all, 2 days ago, 2 videos ago now, I shared that I'll most likely be looking at some short positions here. And then in my last video just yesterday, I did actually share this exact short position in my last video. But as you can see here, over the last 1 day, I've now effectively closed this short position because I've reduced the size all the way down to just a $100 trade, just to simply show you that obviously the realized profit and loss is now basically zero, because I'm basically out of the trade and I've secured over 2,200 USD in realized profits from this short position. And in the comment section of my last video here on the channel, a lot of people were basically just outright laughing at me for even talking about the possibility of shorting crypto during a larger bull market. And a lot of people were telling me there's no way I could possibly make money from this short position, and I'm basically guaranteed to get wrecked from this short position. But as you can clearly see, it doesn't matter if the price is bullish or bearish, we can make money in both directions here, no matter what the price is doing. And so being fully transparent with you on my Bitnex account right here, looking at my exact trading history and my last multiple trades here, you can see that I'm making pretty much profit after profit after profit, obviously some bigger than others, but this was the Ethereum long position just a few days ago here, profiting from a bullish move, and then just over the last 1 to 2 days, profiting from a bearish move. So around 5,000 to 6,000 USD in profits in around 5 days. But considering the fact that we still have these possible warning signals for Ethereum, and considering Bitcoin is still holding above, or the Bitcoin dominance is still holding above this important area of support, while this remains to be the case, I'll potentially look to increase this short position again, or open a new short position potentially in the coming days here, especially if we see some more confirmation for this bearish divergence continuing to play out. So I'm just letting you know beforehand, I'm still looking at possible short positions here, as we do have a possible pullback that could be likely going to play out at some point in the next 1 or 2 weeks or so. But as I also said earlier, there's also still that possibility we form just a slight little higher high in the price while the RSI is still forming lower highs, like what we did a couple of times last time during May entering into June this year. So like I just said, I'm waiting for a little bit more confirmation here. Maybe we form a slight higher high, maybe not. Either way, I'm just waiting for confirmation before potentially opening a new short position or adding to this short position. And as always, when I do it, I will let you know about it here on the channel very transparently as always. And so no matter if the price is bullish or bearish, I will be letting you know how to make profits no matter what the price is doing, despite the fact that there's some people out there that will laugh at me for sharing short positions, because a lot of people out there only want to hear bullish price action. But once again, I'm just letting you know how to make money no matter what the price does here, as I am actually doing myself with my own money, as you can see right here from my trading history, pretty much always making money with either short positions or long positions. It doesn't matter. We can make profits in both directions. And so if you're interested in making profits no matter what the price is doing, then make sure you subscribe to this channel channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important update videos. And of course, obviously, you have to be set up ready to go to take these crypto trades, ready to go on a crypto exchange. And personally, I'm taking this trade right here over on my Bitfinex account. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And remember, if you use the links below this video to those exchanges, you can claim some massive trading and deposit bonuses that are only available using those links. But with that being said, taking a look at Solana on the 2-day time frame, and at least for now, Solana is still struggling from this massive area of resistance here, still sitting in between roughly 190 to 200. And as we could see over the last few days, the price has pulled back down to almost exactly this crucial area of support here, sitting at approximately 167, but really in the high 160 area, so in between roughly 167 to almost 170. In that area right there, I would expect a lot of support for the price of Solana. But if the price were to confirm candle closes below 167, and especially if we fail to get back above that level, in that situation, it's possible we could even see a pullback down towards around 146, give or take, as the next crucial level of support in between roughly 143 to 146. But once again, that's only if we first confirm a break below 167. At least for now, we're still holding support at around 167 to 170. And technically speaking, the larger trends, the longer term trend, at least for now, is still currently bullish. We're still forming higher lows and higher highs. But of course, in the shorter term, during the larger bullish trend, we can see pullbacks along the way. As we could see, just like out during a larger bearish trend, we can see the occasional pump towards the upside along the way towards the downside. And so we're simply in that phase during the bullish trend where we're currently seeing weakness, rejecting from significant resistance. And once again, this could likely continue if Bitcoin is still showing weakness in the shorter term, bouncing around relatively sideways, and especially if the Bitcoin dominance is remaining above this support. This is the key thing to pay attention to if you're into the altcoin market, because essentially we should only expect an altcoin season to continue if we break below this area in the Bitcoin dominance. While the Bitcoin dominance is still holding above this area, do not expect a major altcoin season. In fact, if we see a further bounce in the Bitcoin dominance, expect bad news for a lot of the altcoin market. I'm simply just telling you what the market is showing, what the charts are showing. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, it's a similar situation for XRP. Technically, we've not yet confirmed a reversal out of the larger bullish trend or the larger bull market, but at least for now, in the shorter term, obviously, we're seeing a bit of a weakness alongside a lot of the crypto market just in the shorter term. And while this is playing out in the shorter term, we're also forming a significant bearish divergence on the weekly XRP price chart, with higher highs already confirmed in the price in the candle closes and lower highs already confirmed once here with one weekly candle close, lower highs confirmed in the weekly XRP RSI. And the next weekly candle close confirms in roughly 3.5 days from now at the end of the week. And so if this weekly candle close at the end of this week, if that confirms in the red, that'll be a second confirmation signal to further confirm the lower high in place in the weekly XRP RSI, which would further confirm this significant bearish divergence. And in that situation, if we see that second confirmation signal at the end of this week, we could potentially be in for a larger cool off for the price of XRP in the coming weeks or possibly months. And the only thing that could potentially turn that back around to the bullish direction is if we see a major breakdown in the Bitcoin dominance. Because once again, if that happens, if we break below this area of support in the Bitcoin dominance, then that would be a continuation of the altcoin season, bullish for the altcoin market. But while the Bitcoin dominance is holding above this support, once again, we're potentially in for a larger cool off for a lot of these altcoins here. And if we're taking a look at this daily XRP price chart, obviously exactly as I've already been talking about over the last 1 week or so, the price is still just bouncing around relatively sideways in this sideways price range right here, which is exactly what I said the price would do around a week ago. And I still expect this moving forward at least over the next few days, possibly longer, maybe another 1 to 2 weeks. And the sideways price range I'm talking about is in between this support and this resistance. First of all, this support is sitting in between around $2.90 to $3 as the area of support, and this resistance is sitting in between around $3.30 to $3.40 as the area of resistance. So right now the price is basically just bouncing around sideways in that range between support and resistance, obviously bouncing from support and rejecting from resistance. And this type of price action here, bouncing around in a sideways price range, is actually perfect for a grid bot trading strategy, which is basically an automated trading strategy to make a lot of easy and passive profits during choppy sideways price action just like this. And I will leave a link to a video that I made a while ago to a grid bot trading strategy video at the end of this video. But if you want more information about grid bots and how to make a lot of easy profits during price action just like this, then let me know in the comments section section down below, and I may look to make an updated video about all of that. But for now, and at least over the next few days, maybe a little bit longer once again, we're likely going to continue to see more of this type of price action moving forward, at least in the short term for the price of XRP. And if we're taking a look at Chainlink on the daily time frame, right now, as of recording this video, Chainlink is only just holding on to this very important area of support, sitting in between around $17.50 to $18. And obviously, the last candle close here, the last daily candle close, confirmed back above $17.50, even though we saw a candle wick, an attempted break below $17.50. We did not end up seeing that candle close below $17.50, which means at least for now, we've not yet confirmed a break below this area. But if we ultimately confirm candle closes on the daily time frame below $17.50, and especially if we fail to get back above that area, flipping it into new resistance, in that situation, if that confirms, that'll be very bearish for Chainlink, at least in the following days or weeks, and we'll likely see a drop potentially back down towards roughly $15.50 as the next significant point of support, the next significant price target. And so this is also a possible short position opportunity. Let's just say, for example, if we're shorting from roughly $17.50 give or take towards roughly $15.50 give or take, that's around a 10 to an 11% move towards the downside with no leverage, or for example, a 10x leverage short position would be roughly 100% profit in that example. Not financial advice, but that would basically double your money during a dump in the market and then give you an opportunity to potentially buy cheaper crypto assets at lower prices with profits from a short position. And so once again, that's just sharing a possible trading strategy here, trading opportunity. But remember, that's not yet confirmed. It's not in play. We still need to wait for a confirmed break below $17.50 and ideally holding that as new resistance in order to target these lower prices here. And just simply pointing out some similarities between this high and other highs in the price of Chainlink, we do have very similar price action right now to what we're seeing right now compared to what we saw previously at previous highs. So as we can see here, we have a major run up in the price followed by a significant lower high put in place, especially around a key point of resistance. And we saw basically the exact same thing as what we're seeing right now. We saw pretty much exactly during around May, entering into almost early June this year, and also pretty much the exact same thing during January, entering into almost February this year. And so we usually end up seeing a major run up in the price, a major bullish move, followed by a significant rejection, another major rebound, but then failing to get back above the first significant high, forming a lower high. And then once we break below the first low that we set during the highs right there, at that point, that's where we see the continued pullback actually play out. And so this middle point for the price right now is basically this area of support in between around $17.50 to $18, as we can see, which is why I said earlier, if we confirm candle closes below $17.50, and especially if we fail to get back above that area, that could potentially be a short position opportunity, not financial advice. But remember, it does not matter if the price is bullish or bearish. We can make profits in either direction using long positions or short positions. And if you want to take trades just like this to make a lot of easy profits in the crypto market, no matter what the price is doing, obviously get set up ready to go on a crypto exchange using the links below this video to take advantage of those major trading and deposit bonuses. And if you want to actually know how you can take trades just like this for yourself to make a lot of easy profits in the crypto market, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit during bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit during choppy sideways price action using grid bots. But with that being said, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.